Yep. Got a very special guest today. Could you do me a favor and introduce yourself?
My name is Arturo Avalos, and I'm also known, AKA known as Dreamer, Corcoran, uh, Bulldogs.
Much love, much love. I appreciate you jumping on the channel, giving us your time and sharing your story. So I'd like to get started from the beginning, if possible. Could you tell me how was your life growing up?
Growing up, well, just like every during that time, single parent, mom raised like eight of us.
Damn.
Yeah, eight of us, and well, I was born in San Jose, San
Mhm.
Jose, and at an age of eight or so, she moved down to Corcoran, little town that everybody should be familiar with,
Yeah.
to the Corcoran prison. But yeah, and that's where I was started touching
Which
the streets.
which kid were you in the middle of that from 1 to 8?
1 to 8, I was the fourth one down I started the short way, the fourth one.
Yeah, so
So I
you're
was
like
uh,
so you're the
six,
kind of
seven.
middle.
Yeah, in the middle. Yeah.
How was that being the middle child of 8 kids?
Well, they're all females besides me and two brothers,
Oh shit.
and hello. I was like down the ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty good. My mom did what she can,
Mhm.
and she raised us as much as to her best, and she worked. So I think pretty good. As
Wh-
what
What do you
we
think? What do you think was it that drove you to the streets?
what drove me to the streets was the father figure.
Mm.
You know, I didn't have it in my life. I didn't have that man figure, that man,
Somebody to
that
guide you.
father
Yeah.
guide me. That hey, this is the way how you're supposed to do it. Just so without that, uh, the streets. The street.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah,
How old were you when you started like messing around and connecting to the streets?
connect to the streets. Probably in the age of 10, 10
Damn,
years
so real
old.
early.
The age of 10, but like in little old Corcoran, it wasn't like LA or Fresno or bigger cities, San Jose, San Francisco. It was mostly you get on, you leave your house, go to a little party, smoke some weed, get a little drunk, go
Mhm.
fuck around. I mean, mess around and break into cars here and there, but nothing of the gang related on
Yeah.
those days, those days I was growing up. It wasn't like, oh, homeboy came out of the beam. This homeboy came out. It wasn't nothing like that. At least if there was, I was really uh, under all that, under the radar. It
Yeah.
wasn't like an everyday thing.
Yeah. So you were just more like a troubled kid rather than like
Yeah, trouble kid.
well, rather than like a hardcore gang member at that time.
Yeah, yeah, no, no fucking gang member, nothing like that. Yep.
Yeah. So how did you like morph into becoming a gang member? Like, and what age was that?
The age was when I hit juvenile halls,
Oh
and that
shit.
was around that was around the age of 11, 10, 11 too. 10, 11. I want to say 11, 10 age of 10 started. Mom, I leave home. Mom call the cops. You know, I would get in trouble in school, taking switchblades. Fighting, not listening, throwing shit at the teachers. Acting
Yeah.
a fool. Acting a
Yeah.
fool. And it just led for me going to juvenile hall. My mom to doing 2 month a month to doing 3 months. You know, 3 months in juvie, and then in there, that's when it was like you seen the other towns, like the biggest town around that area in Kings County was Hanford,
Mhm.
and so you started hearing about all that, but the gang, the north, the south. Well, honestly, truth, not even the south. They're just like the north,
Yeah.
Fort and whatnot. Yeah.
So at that time, you're young, dog, 11 years old, right? And you're what do you remember what you felt like the first time you stepped foot in juvenile hall and knowing that like you're not leaving that place, like they're
Yeah.
they're gonna keep you for some time? How was that feeling?
Well, the first time I went there, like everything else, it was just like, wow, this is what I've heard about, juvie,
Yeah,
not just the holding tank
yeah, yeah.
and department. It was like juvie, and like wow, I was scared, and a lot. I was scared. I didn't know nobody. It's not like I went with a group of friends or nothing. It was just all solo, and just it was scary. It was scary at that time,
Yeah, because you're young too, so it's
Oh
like
yeah.
everybody was probably way bigger than you.
Oh yeah, everybody. Even yeah, everybody at that time. Everybody, and then it was off and on, and then try to behave. Got kicked out of school. The district went to continuation. Got studies, home studies at home. That didn't work because I was in turning in shit. So they sent me to continuation with the olders,
Yeah,
the elder ones, the 16, 17 to 18-year-olds. So yeah, and
damn.
from there, if anything, that just introduced me to other people. If anything, it was just like a networking after that. Just like, what's up? Come kick it here, come kick it there.
So let me ask, rewind a little bit back to your time in juvenile hall when you said you met people from larger areas than you. How was it like seeing the way they function as opposed to the way you were used to doing it? Was it kind of like a culture shock, or was it just like a youngster just absorbing, like, okay, this is what we
Yeah,
do?
I was just like a SpongeBob out there, just observing everything. Like, wow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how it is. It's like listening to a story. Really? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you guys, Grand Theft Auto, like shit. I need to go out there, GTA too. Go on a ride with everybody. I wanted
yeah,
to do, but it wasn't nothing like that in Corcoran at that time.
yeah,
Yeah. So I just sucked it in, and really, when I left, I would leave. It was just it stood behind, and I'll just go back to what I was doing before. Running away, getting in trouble in school, not going to school, probation picking me up and whatnot. And running a little muck.
and when you got to that continuation you're talking about with the older people, is that kind of where like you started developing your style, like your gangster mannerisms and all that, or
Well, not so much. No, not really. Not really gang mannerism. It was just what they wore, I wore. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah,
And just copy a little copycat area. They're just like following, just doing what they do, and
yeah.
wearing the red rag and whatnot. And yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just doing it. Because everybody
That's
else.
a trip. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. I never heard it like that, but I think that's with a lot of people, really, if you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it, because nobody knows the true depths of gang banging and all that when you first start. It's just like
No, no.
I'm down for whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's what at
That's
least that's what happened with me. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh no, shit, I was born out of the crib,
yeah, yeah.
got clecha and shit. Nah, that's the way my story started.
What were the events that led to you going to the California Youth Authority, and how long did it take from like let's say when you joined your neighborhood to you getting over to the California Youth Authority?
Well, from that point, probably from the age of 11, I got sent to a group home. My mom couldn't handle me no more,
Oh
and
shit.
I was 12. I was 12. It was in 1990. I was
Yeah,
12 years old. And she already told him I can't handle him. She needs to work for us, and she
yeah.
was working in the
She has
field,
seven other kids too.
Yeah, so she couldn't handle me. So it was like I can't take care of him, I can't handle him. And they end up sending me to in Fresno, a group home in Fresno. And first I did 3 months, and then I was doing good a little bit, and then she couldn't handle me. After that, she was like, no, no. Then they end up
Damn.
sending me to a group home, committed me to a group home.
That's a trip. I talked to a previous interview. I talked to somebody, Diana, about her time in a group home, and she like the way she was describing it was sounds like it was pretty bad, where the staff kind of ignore people and like things, just a lot of bad things go on. Did you have that kind of experience at the group home?
Oh, not the group home I went to. They would just let us run our own program. Actually,
Oh shit.
we're just like they're there, and they'll be in the back in the room in their office, and if we had to go to council, like AA council meetings and all that, they'll just drop us off and we'll just run off. We'll just
Damn.
run off, do something out, drink some beer somewhere, look in front of a in front of a store, waiting for someone to buy us some beer or cigarettes. We get cigarettes right there at the AA meetings,
Yeah.
and yeah, they should just drop us off and we should do our own. And there was group home staff that used to bring us weed and shit, and yeah, and
That
it was
that
pretty fun. For me, it was pretty fun.
mm.
It was fun.
That's a trip because
It
for
was fun. It
you,
was
my bad. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, it wasn't something I expected from the
Mm.
counselor, from a group home. I thought, I heard oh yeah, they're really gonna, well, at least not that group home that I went to, and at least the people that were there. I think there were some that tried to be strict. Hey, you guys need to clean up, you need to do this chores and all this, but other ones just didn't care. They just
Damn.
let us do what we wanted to
That's a
do.
trip because they're hired to protect you and to like guide you, right? Like they like
Yeah.
and they're over here letting you drink and giving you weed, and like that's pretty fucked up if you think about it. I know for you as a kid,
Yeah.
you're like, oh hell yeah, that was cool as fuck.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
But as
they'll tell us to keep it on the under. The other guys that were there for a while, he's hooking me up and this and that. And I was like, fuck, really? Shit. We didn't have
that's
to go that far for this shit.
damn,
Yeah.
that's a trip though, because as an adult, it kind of like, oh shit, like damn, you really doing that for your kids? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
fucked up looking back.
Yeah.
But
And then I was going to school there. And then the other thing with school there was the other trip too. I went to junior high Hatchby right there in Fresno. It
mm,
was a middle school, and I got kicked out of there too. So they didn't want me there because there was beef with Bulldogs at that time. It was barely coming up against the Crips. So
mm,
we were funking right there. So that was my first encounter with Bulldogs.
yeah,
And then from there, they ended up sending me to Project Pride, where I ran into lots and lots more, homies.
yeah,
And the cops used to give us, not the cops, the teachers used to give us cigarettes there too.
damn,
It was, I mean, you're talking about 1990, you know?
yeah.
So I don't know if it was just the time or whatever, but it was like what I see now, what was it then? It was crazy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
two,
yeah. I remember as a kid going to Burger King, right?
mm-hmm,
And there'd be a smoking section in the
uh-huh.
Burger King. So smoking was huge back then. I don't think people realize how big smoking was back then.
Oh, yeah.
In Nellis, do you remember the barber chairs had
Uh-huh.
fucking ashtrays?
Oh,
You
is
know what
that
I mean?
right?
So yeah, yeah. So fucking it's like that shit was huge. You know what I mean? Like smoking was everywhere. Planes
Yeah.
had smoking sections. Like
Oh,
everywhere
yeah.
had a smoking section.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It wasn't like now you're like, no smoke, no smoke.
yeah.
Yeah. Where it was off the chain, you know?
So you end up in areas that they have a lot of bulldogs there, and how did they like, or how did you, I should say, really like connect with them? Where you're like, yeah, that's it. I want to be down with these guys.
No, I never knew at that moment. They were just humble. They embraced me like if I was their own.
Yeah,
It wasn't like, and this is not no exaggeration or nothing like that. They just embraced me, man. Like,
yeah,
hey, you're in the group, come kick it with us. Boom, boom, we'll kick it at the spot, and we'll just be drinking or smoking a cigarette, and I was just whatever, I was just like, wow, and these are straight comparative in Corcoran where I was from, straight G's,
yeah,
straight G's, and they're like, yeah, they're like real shit, war scars and shit,
yeah,
so it was pretty good, it was for me. I was just like awed, I was awed, but how they embraced me, they just embraced me, man, as just a homeboy, not
damn,
not as a bulldog, as a homeboy, we're cool,
yeah.
and yeah,
That must have felt good too, because you don't have that father figure. You know what I mean? You're looking for somebody out there, and you got this group of solid cats that are just like, man, like
Oh
embracing
yeah,
you.
yeah. That's what it was, and from there, I end up hooking up. That's what happened right there with that group. I ended up tearing that up, and
Eh,
end up if you end up messing up, and they end up detaining me right there in juvenile hall, in Fresno juvenile hall.
Damn.
And I was there for like a month until they transferred me to Kings County Juvenile Hall,
Mhm.
and they were supposed to. Uh, the recommendation was to regroup me, put me in a group home or a 6 month program right there in juvenile hall,
A camp program. Oh, a juvenile program.
a juvenile hall program, yeah, or something like that, some kind of 6 month program right there.
Mhm.
And yeah, everything was good. I was gonna go for sentencing, and something came went down. It was, if I can remember, we didn't want to go down,
Mhm.
and they called everybody in, and they fucking roughed us up. And during the process, I guess a cop got hurt.
Oh
You know,
shit.
yeah. and that was the week. Within a week, I was supposed to go get sentenced to get
Damn.
recommitted to group home
Yeah.
or get sentenced there. It was a wrap supposedly. So when I showed up for the sentencing, they hit me with one. They hit me with that California Youth Authority.
For what, assaulting a peace officer?
No, well, actually, for what I had done to mess up on my group home,
Mm.
it was under terrorist threats,
Okay.
because I yeah he we had a little confrontation with the counselor at the group home this morning, at this particular morning, and he was telling me he was not gonna let me go on furlough because I fucked that up and whoa the whoop, and I guess I tried to hit him with the fucking broom, right?
Damn.
And he tackled me, threw me on the floor, almost broke my arm, and and he waited until the cop got there, and then when the cop got there, they picked me up, and I spit on him. I told
Oh
him, "Hey, I'm
fuck.
gonna kill you." I told him I'm gonna kill you when I get out,
Yeah. Damn.
and that's what it dicking, because he didn't want to press charges. He wasn't sure if I hit him or not.
Yeah.
With the broom. So what they did see was that I spit on him and told him I was gonna kill him.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day, that's what terrorist threats.
You know what the sad thing is about that is that you're in a group home, right? Like you're not really a threat to society at that point. You're just an angry kid, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you're acting out. And it's like now you're on your way to the California Youth Authority. Like
Oh
what the
yeah.
fuck? It's like,
No,
like
no, serious.
yeah, yeah. So it's like you go to the group home because you're a little wild,
Yep.
and it's like now you're going with like fucking a lot of motherfucking crazy ass people end up going, and like hardened motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like cats that have been through some shit. And it's like this
No,
is,
for sure.
man, that's crazy. You hadn't even did like a 6 month program or
Nope.
anything like that. Like this, so you go straight from the group home a few times in the halls, but
Yeah,
for
no.
basically going to the group home to YA, like fuck, that's
Yep.
fucking nuts, man. So
Well,
so
that's what the judge said, man. The judge was like, "Well, seems like you haven't learned your lesson." You know? And I was like, "Huh?" And she came out talking like that and Woody Woo. Like, what is she talking about, right?
yeah,
And then to her committed to the California Youth Authority. I was like, what? I just, I flipped out. I told her, go F yourself and walked out. And
yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, what happened? I'm going to YA.
Do you
And
remember how long they sentenced or the sentence was in court?
it was 3 years, 4 months, I want to say, for that fucking terrorist threat.
Damn. But that's kind
Yeah.
of a short timer in YA, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to do an 8 month program, a drug program.
Damn.
Hmm.
So let's
And
get into that. So
yeah,
I'm assuming you went to NR, correct? Northern Reception.
narcissism. Yes.
And then so you get a board and they give you, or actually let me ask, how was your first time there getting to like YA, like an actual YA institution?
When I rolled up,
Yeah.
the first time, that was the only time in RCC though. But when I rolled up, it was just like I was hearing all these stories, California cover your ass and all this and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
But I just heard it was crazy.
Mm.
But they never got into detail. It sounded more like sexual danger, because cover
Yeah.
your. That's all I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
You know what California stands for? Yeah, cover your ass. I was like, shit, ain't nobody gonna take my ass.
That's true. And because of that, oftentimes you think like it's hyperbolic and you're like, these fools are hyping it up. That's not what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was usually from the cops trying to
Yeah.
scare us. But when I rolled up in a van. They came pick me up in a van, and I was the only one going.
Oh shit, that
So
sucks.
yeah, the one guy had already went. He was already over there that I was in with. His name was Smiley from Hanford, and then I rolled up, and then so I kind of knew someone when I got there.
Mm.
And then when I got there, I ran into some other cats that was in juvenile hall in Fresno, and then on the street. So it was like kind of like, okay, this is good, it's all right, hey, what's up,
Yeah.
what's going on, so just give me the what's gonna happen, what the games are or whatnot. So it wasn't like I did go by myself, but I ended up meeting a few people that I already knew, so
Yeah.
it was it was pretty cool, at least
And
for that,
and,
that
and you're banging already at that point, right?
yeah, I'm already banging, yeah, I'm already
So
banging.
that you also have
Yeah,
that to fall back on too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, you have a name, a hood. So it's like you have an identity.
yeah, yeah, yep.
So you get an 8-month program for a drug program. You said
Yeah, I was,
at board.
yes,
And
yep.
where did they send you?
They ended up sending me to OH Close right there in Stockton.
How old were you?
I was 14 years old at that time, I think in 92.
So
Just
you're
turned 14.
a young kid going to OH. And how was it when you got there?
When I got there, man, I kind of knew there was already homeboys going over there, so I kind of feared I was gonna run into some homeboys. But when I got there, it wasn't all that. It was pretty. Like I said, it was pretty like going through the grooves a little bit.
Mhm.
Going through the grooves. I was nervous, because motherfuckers were there in pants, all fucking all fucking 40s and shit. And I was like, damn, hitting you up. Where you from, home? We from SA,
Yeah.
gang banging, like mad dogging motherfucker, like, damn, this motherfucker's mad here, you know.
It
Well,
feels
yeah,
like that. Now, looking
I'm
back,
like,
it feels like that, right? Like there's a lot of animosity. Like motherfuckers are
yeah,
angry in
they
there.
have they're working this character, like, god damn, I was like, fuck it, I didn't get into fucking mad dog, which I still have to this day. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking this face, I can't get it off of me. So you always tell me, man, you got this fucking face. And what face? What face you want me to give you this? Like a fucking happy face. I'm like, all right, But
Yeah.
when I showed up, they just hit you up. Where we from? I think it was this guy named Weddle from Enzy. Hit me up. What's up? And I told him I was gonna go. I think I was going to. I think they called it the main line at that time. It was I'm thinking Calaveras or the Norte Hall. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's where I ended up going the first time when I rolled up.
And how was it when you got there?
When I got there, it was cool. No, when I got there, I went to a restroom and they told you put your stuff. You need to go restroom, and shit. I need to go rest because they had me up there in the center for a while. I didn't take a piss. Went up there, and I remember this guy. I just Sureño hit me up. He said, "We from home?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "So I'm in Corcoran 14. What's up?" He goes, "What?"
Yeah,
He said,
I'm here.
"Hello."
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. He said something. I said, "What's up?" And my homeboys grabbed me. There was some homeboys there already. Everybody got out. They were just testing me. I was like, "What?" I was about to take flight on this guy, right? But
Yeah,
there were homeboys there. I just didn't see nobody. I just thought nobody was there. In my mind, I zoomed in on this guy because he came up, hitting me up,
yeah,
and then they grabbed me. They go, "Oh, no, no, cool." And then there was some homeboys there, and there was a majority from Fresno.
yeah.
Uh, there was the homeboy Danny Boy. the homeboy and little Anthony, the homeboy Bear, a bunch of homeboys are like righteous homeboys, So it was like, fuck yeah, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, crazy. I didn't know, but I was like, this dude got getting out, like he's getting crazy,
Yeah, yeah, loking up on you. So it's like you got to
Loking
respond,
up,
yeah,
yeah.
correctly.
You ain't supposed to get hit up like that. So it's like, and they just laughed it off, and they were like, "What the fuck was this?" Hey, wash it up, homie. We had to brush up and to kick it with the car and shit, and it was cool. I was there for like maybe 2 weeks, and they moved me because they said I was too young. That
Mhm.
mainline, because it was like little older cats there, little rougher
Yeah.
cats. So they moved me to Eldorado. Eldorado. Yeah.
That's with all the younger kids.
Well, I guess so. For some reason, I don't remember exactly why they moved, but they ended up moving me. I think they had Glen Hall. Glen Hall was the smallest
Oh yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I
But
heard.
yeah, but for the smallest, for the most part, I don't remember why, but they ended up sending me to Eldorado Hall,
Mhm.
and they had a homeboy Red and the homeboy Junior Delano there, so we're there, and they were like, deep. Southerners were always deep, even there. We're like three of us, and there were like 10 or 15 Sudaners. It was like shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it was cool. It was cool. It was one-on-ones all the time. One-on-ones all the time, behind the doors, behind the walls, behind the handball court, in the rooms, wherever.
And
It was all.
at the time, you guys were still Northerners, right?
Yeah, we're still Northerners at the time. Yep, still Northerners. So everybody, all the dogs, everybody was together.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And from
go ahead,
there,
my bad.
no, from there, just shit started evolving with me in the gang, in the day to day. What's not even what's happening there, what was happening in Preston, what was happening in Chad, what's happening in where shit was kicking off. We had
Yeah.
homeboys at that time. It was possible Robles. There
Yeah.
had been some homeboys there, and
All right, all right.
they were getting handled.
Yeah.
And so shit was that was my mentality was there. Well, oh fuck this, man, and it was starting to get more into the gang culture that was going on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
started getting shit. You know?
Yeah, I just want to explain
Yeah.
something to people who might not be familiar with the gangster lifestyle. When somebody like talks about how active another group is, it just triggers the other groups. You know what I mean? Where they're like, "Oh, fuck that! Like they ain't gonna
Oh
get
yeah.
over on us." You know what I mean? It's like you wanna. Everybody wants to be
Oh no,
dominant.
no.
You know what I mean? So it's like
Oh
that
yeah.
fuels you.
Yeah, it's nothing like it's nothing personal, it's just something like you want to be part of that little movement, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. You hear somebody else moving, like doing things, and you're like, "Nah, we should be doing that."
Yeah, yeah, we
Yes.
should be doing that. Why we ain't doing that?
Yeah.
And yeah, because at one point there was some homeboys, especially one of my homeboys, Chucky from the north side of Fresno, and he got sent to fucking Dallas, and the other Norteño was named was Little Man from Turlock, or Caveman or Little Man from Cave. I think Caveman from Turlock. They got their ass handed to them.
Damn.
So and they came back. I heard stories. They were getting rat packed, all kinds of shit. So I was like, it was just boiling. You know, what was
Yeah.
happening to them, it was happening over here to me, even though it wasn't happening there. So yeah, and
Did
the
that?
first little gang really, huh?
No, go ahead. My bad.
Oh, no, no, the first fucking gang incident that I could say was against the Crips.
Hmm.
I guess they had says bad things in Eno in the lockdown box up
Yeah.
there in OH close, and some guy out of some A-Trade gangster guy, and he said something, and the homeboy told us, "Hey man, this fool blew up the north."
Damn.
What? It was like what? I want to go throw a fuck. We're in fucking the day room, so it was like, "Hey homie, hit that TV." Like what? Boom, hey man, this is a fucker, whatever, blowing up shit,
Yeah.
and they kicked off a riot.
Oh shit.
and that was the first one. Yeah, that was
Was
one
it
incident. Then
was it a
after that, it just
let me ask for that, right? Was it planned, or like did you guys talk about it before, or was it just kind of spontaneous where you guys hear about it, you're like, oh fuck that, let's kick it off?
no. The thing was, this guy, the homeboy let us know, hey man, he goes, this fucking dude Slim, he fucking disrespected, right?
Hmm.
I wouldn't go hit him up. I had a we had some locks in a sock and shit.
Yeah.
We hit him up. He was a big fucker. We went and hit him up, and he said, "Nah, man. You know what? Nah, none of that. Cause whatever." And I was all right, homie, all right. And
Hmm.
just for the fuck of it, I said, "Let's just throw a fuck, right?" So we had our hands. We weren't expecting him to say anything or nothing like that, because he already said no.
Yeah.
But we went to go say it. But when I threw that fuck, he fucking jumped up and it was on.
Oh shit.
Everybody rushed. Yeah, everybody rushed. We all rushed because he was in the second. The second, I know. I think he was kicking back in the second row, and we're on the fourth row, and it just sparked right there. I was like, "Oh shit!" He was a big guy. He was no small cat, and that's where we were gonna pack him. But since he didn't say nothing, we let it
Yeah.
go. And my homie was like, we throw a meeting and let's just see what he says, just in case. Just that we'll get off our shoulders.
Yeah.
And it went sideways. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
What
And then
ended up happening to you?
no, I ended up going to Inyo, and I think they ended up sending me to the Norte then to another hall. They ended up sending me to another hall.
Hmm.
And no, matter of fact, no, they ended up trying to send me. Yeah, they sent me to the Norte, and then they sent me to one of, I think, Amador or Butte. There's one drug program.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there no more, dude. I was fucking up, and I was hard headed. And they sent me to from there. They sent me from Butte. They sent me to the north, back to the north, and then from there, tried to instigate a riot against Southern. Yeah.
Let me ask real quick before we get into the riot. Did you know when you left the drug cottage that you're really fucking your day off? Like
Oh
you're
yeah. Oh no
yes.
no. Yeah yeah. Because they wanted us to do some. It was not like Kennedy, man, or like those drug programs. At least where I seen it, these fuckers really want you to get on these programs. Like
Yeah.
your 12 steps. And I was like, I wasn't having none of that. I ain't gonna lie to you. For a while, when I went to YA, I was supposed to be a ninth grader,
Damn.
uh, and I didn't know how to read, bro.
Mhm.
You know, and this is the truth. I didn't know how to spell the and I didn't know how to spell none of it. I was straight stupid, bro.
Well, no,
And
I
I
want to
was
say that. I said just
crazy,
undereducated. You know what I mean?
uneducated, yeah, illiterate, because I was always because I was fucking up. Always because of fucking up. And I educated myself, educated. I call it educated myself. With the in the little testament, the ones that give you. I don't know. In our city, they should give us a little testament. And I started just fucking learning the words you know, and start using memory. Most of the time, I go by memory. You know,
Yeah.
and just like, man, I was like, so I didn't want to educate myself with no 12-step program. I wanted
Yeah.
to. I was on the road. I already got some of that taste, and the way your homeboys look at you is like, man, I want to kick this shit off. I want fun. You
Yeah.
know.
So let me ask, at any point when you said that you weren't able to read it as well, when they called on you to read or anything like that, did that ever frustrate you, or when they said, "Oh, check this out," or did that kind of piss you off or nah?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, it never happened in YA. In YA, it never happened. I would just pass it on, but and though they won't push the issue, but
Yeah,
I
low key,
remember,
and why you could do that shit? You're like, I refuse. I ain't doing that shit.
yeah, but in the school, and when I was in the street, oh yeah, I used that shit. I'll act up.
Mm.
I'll act stupid. I had excuses from I don't my eyes hurt. They sent me to a fucking eye doctor. Oh, for real.
Yeah, that's
That
trip
I
though.
supposed to wear some thick old glasses like this because even my mom to this day, my mom says like, "Man, you need to wear those glasses." Remember they told? I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't even know how to tell her." I just made it up. So I used to tell them I didn't, my eyes hurt, so they sent me to an eye doctor and all this crap.
Yeah.
And all because I was just honest truth. I was embarrassed
Mm.
because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to read. I was illiterate.
Damn, that's a trip, dog. That's so that probably had a lot to do with or not probably, but it had a lot to do with your acting out. That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
So you get kicked out of the drug cottage, you get to another cottage, you say fuck that, let's kick it off. And you want to kick it off against the Southsiders. What happens next?
So there was what triggered me was when my homeboy Chucky came down from Nelles,
Mm,
and I was just like hot already. I was like, oh fuck that, they're here, they're here kicking in, they're handling my homeboys. Why fuck? Look at them, look at
yeah.
Instigator, you know how that is. Like, look at them, they taking pictures and shit, and everything have their own spot, paying handball. Look at them, look at this shit, right? And I was
Yeah.
like. And I wasn't having it. So I had homeboys that I had a little juice, so start using that juice to spark shit up.
Mhm.
And we had the whole plan out, had little pieces of from the rake. We had a bunch of little pieces we made and everything, but somebody dropped the kite on us, and
Oh fuck.
they had canines out there and all kinds of shit the day it was supposed to happen, and my dumbass still rushes because I said I'm gonna rush us on everything. You know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did that you had to put your palabras, everything in there.
Yeah, yeah, your palabra. So a bunch of cops just like took two swings, and there I go on the ground. And that got me to the whole right there, Eno, and that's what got me sent to Fred C Nelles.
Damn. Did they tell you like, oh, that's it, you're going to Nellis?
No, they were
They
like,
just snaked on you?
no, they were like, no, they asked me where you want to go, and I was like, man, Preston. I was like Preston, right? Because Preston was jumping at that time.
Yeah.
I like Preston. They're like, oh yeah, but we're gonna recommend either Fred C Nelles or Preston, right? I like, man, send me wherever you want to send me. I remember telling them something to the effect of send me wherever my homeboys need me or some shit like that. And I was like, whatever, they're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
gonna just send me to Preston, right? Because I didn't
Yeah.
know people were going to Freshy Knowledge. I really didn't know,
Yeah.
that it was just a scare tactic.
Yeah.
Like we'll see, bullshit. I didn't know they were sending us over there, so I was like, yeah, whatever. And then showed up, and yeah, they ended up going to Fred C Nelles. I was like, because when I didn't know until so I got in the bus and I see my homeboy Danny Boy.
Mm,
He was in OH close before, and I know he had got sent to Preston. And I
yeah.
was like, what?
You're like, damn,
He
what are you doing over
fucking-
here?
No, I'm like, yeah, where you like? He was going. He was on in the change right there in the cages. I'm like, where's this motherfucker going? If he's not coming from Preston, he's not going back to Preston because he was coming from Preston. He
Yeah.
was, I went to Preston, so I was like, oh shit, they're sending this to Dallas. And I really thought I didn't really believe it until we passed fucking Bakersfield. I was like, oh shit, these people are serious. And it was only four of us.
Damn. How'd you
It was
feel at the time?
I was like, man, I honestly felt like, an honest part, it was like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go run back. I
Yeah.
was one honest part. The other honest part, the other part was like, this. I don't know what the fuck. I didn't know what to expect, but I was like, they're gonna send four of us. They have to send us with a bunch of where they're all at.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, ain't no way they're gonna send us to fucking just us, right? No, fuck that. They're gonna have to put us with at least 50 of us, right? So I was like, well, 50 is good. We could handle some business with 50. So yeah, no, it was over Danny Boy, over Smiley from Hanford that I already knew from Junior Hall, and I don't remember who else was there, but it was four of us. It
You know,
went.
you know, you know what's a trip about that too is that you get to have a range of different thoughts and emotions going on that trip because it's so fucking long.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that's a
for sure.
long ass fucking ride, man. Then you're shackled the fuck up. Like, I remember, man, I hated that shit. I was like, fuck. When I went up north, I was like, damn, this shit takes fucking forever. And then when I was going back down south, I was like, fuck again.
No, for sure. No, for sure. No, when I didn't really, honest truth, I didn't believe it until we showed up. I was like, this shit look crazy. I was like, it's way different than OH closed, man. It was like we went in and we just fucking. I remember there's trees, and then they do other fucking curves, and then I was like, how big is this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we showed up to Truman. I think, yeah, Truman.
And how was your first night in Truman?
The first night, Truman. First night in Truman. When we got there, we got there like I think they already had they ate lunch, dinner already. They already had dinner. They got us there and they put us in the showers. They kind of try to keep us away. So when everybody was going down, we seen one, seen another, like that was a Sureño, this was a Sureño, that was, I was like, God, how many Sureños are these? It was deep, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, man. So I remember, I don't know, someone had told the homeboy Smiley, hey man, hey, keep out in the night because they'll do something at night,
Mm.
4 in the morning, chow time. So it was like, fuck, they put us all together, four right there in the front of the office, right there, four of the lower beds, the lower
Yeah.
bunks. All four of us. We supposed to keep watch, and we all ended up crashing down. We ended up crashing down.
Yeah.
Nothing happened that night, but we stood awake as long as we could, and yeah, that didn't happen. We fucking crashed out. We woke up and we brushed it up, everything, and go to chow. And so, but homeboy, Danny boy said, "Hey man, they told us if we go to the chow hall, it's gonna be more than one dorm or
Mm-hmm.
college." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, so we're gonna have to kick it off before we get there." I was like, "Oh, shit, all right, fuck yeah." We're like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." I was ready. I need to rest, you know.
Yeah.
Let's take the fucking box already. This
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's like a
fucking
long ass
hour.
drive. Your motherfucking arms are aching, your legs are aching, and then you're fucking tired because you stood up all night. So it's like you get that rest, you wake up feeling.
And all tensed up, all stressed the fuck out. You can't. You're on your back, and your first any little move you hear, you're just jumping up and down, jumping up and down. And yeah, so we went to the chow hall. We were going towards the chow. They line her up in threes or so, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, I'll let you know when." And he just gave me the nod because this guy kept looking back, like smirking at us, like telling us, "Watch what you guys are gonna get right now."
mm-hmm.
So that happened, and in one of those stops, I think we had stopped, and we just took off, and we just took off on there. We just took off four against whatever.
Yeah,
And it kicked off a little bit, a little scuff, a little melee, boom, boom, everybody down. And I remember everybody did try to go down. Like, what? Hell no, I got backed up. As long as they didn't keep us handcuffed, it
yeah.
was, we were on, so we were just boom, 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 boom. And so they all just zip tied us, and they're like, "You motherfuckers!" And they ended up sending my homeboy Danny Boy back, and
Back to
Smiley,
Preston.
yeah, back to Preston, and Smiley back to, I don't know where, back. I think they ended up sending him to back to OH closed, and later on they end up sending them back down, but they end up sending them back up, you know. And me and whoever that guy was, we ended up going to. We went to the box, and then we got sent to Cleveland, where everybody else was at.
So
I guess
you
they
went at
already had established.
did you go to Taft at first or Nixon?
Yeah, no, I went to Taft, the lockdown, the box,
Yeah. So
the box side, the
how how
lockdown.
how was that for you? Like your first night in Taft? Was it were you used to being locked up like that, or was that because I hear Taft is everybody says it's a little different from other lockups. And for me, it was. I was like, man, this shit sucks. I'd rather be in Nixon. You know what I mean? Like Nixon's way cooler. Taft fucking sucks.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was pretty tough. I mean, in your lockdown, and OH closed was kind of more. There was two fucking doors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everything was suffocated. I thought in the beginning when I went to Taft, like a window open and shit like that. It wasn't nice then. When I didn't. It was the best, better than Truman fucking Truman dorm.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. This is me, fucking. You're not
Yeah. Yeah.
there, fucking. Your homeboys. You're not your backyard. You're their backyard. You're enemies to that. It's like.
Yeah.
So it was all right, but it didn't. I know it wasn't forever. It was cool. I seen it. I was like, oh shit, this is cool and shit. When I went to the Taft side lockdown, not the
Yeah.
Taft. I guess because they call it the box on one side and then the Taft lockdown program on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, So you know how it was like a
Like
hour
a
or something
yeah,
like
kind of
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this side was all right. You know, I knew it was only gonna be for a little bit. You know, so and yeah, I thought it was pretty cool at the beginning. You know, this is the beginning. I thought it was cool. You know, for the moment, for that night. You know, and I stayed there like I think 2 days. 2 days.
And after that, you
And,
said they sent you to Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah, Cleveland College, yeah.
How was it
They
right there
sent
in
us.
Cleveland?
Well, when I got there, there was homeboy, so it was better than Truman. So my homeboy Joy Boy, Shorty, K9, and then there was Northerners, uh, Porky, fucking Chucky. It was quite a few. There's a Scanner from Merced. Uh, you know, it was like a good 10, 15 of us. You know,
And you guys were
but
still together at that point?
yeah, we were still together at the time. Even though we're together at that time, or even though Bulldogs and Northerners were together, we're always tripping
Mhm.
like Sample car and San Francisco car, Bay Area car. We're always kicking it together, and then the Fresno car and lower, smaller towns will always kick it together. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
like we're tripping, even in OH clothes, we're always like that. So that's where I gravitated to my homeboys. You know, to the Fresno car. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, but we're all together at the time. We were all riding together and everything. Yeah, at that moment. Yep. And
Yeah. And how long did it take for something to crack right there?
right there, school area. That was the only time we were cracking right there in the school area. I
All
guess they
right.
had a thing. They had a thing if as long as whatever happened in the school area stayed in the school area. You know,
Yeah.
so when I got there, they were telling us, "Oh yeah, we have to watch over the bin and this and that." No, we're like, "What do you mean the bin? You know, yeah, this is a blind spot. You know,
Yeah.
and it'll take off on us." I'm like, "Well, fuck, why you guys keep going over there, right?" We're
Yeah.
like, "Well, we keep doing the fucking spot. When we start going, the first time I went to the school, they ended up returning us because I guess they found a bunch of shanks on some Sudanos, you know.
Oh shit.
That the metal detector,
Yeah.
and next to them they had a bunch of guys right there with zip ties, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they sent us back, and then the counselor, they said, oh yeah, all those guys right there, they got found with shanks. So we were like, what? I was like, oh mama, like, oh
Yeah.
hell no. I was like, that really got me like to come and snap into where I was at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, this shit's serious. These motherfuckers want to take our win. So we plotted this thing. So every time we go to the school area, we wouldn't go to the class they want to send us to. We'll go to whatever classes like we'll go by. If there was 12 of us, we'll go 4 and 4 and 4, three
Mhm.
groups of four, 3 groups of 4, and then the last person that gets to the group will kick it off, and then we'll kick it off and all the classes. Once you
Yeah.
get there, sit down, the teacher will be like, "Hey, what's your name?" All right, like, no, we don't see your name. Come here, come here, come here, and they just pick up a fucking chair. Wow, just like, and we kept doing that, just rushing. We'll get rushed or whatnot, and besides that, in Kennedy in Cleveland at that time, we're a lot of one-on-ones, man. A
Mhm.
lot of one-on-ones. The Sudanese wanted to see us. If especially one time I think I got a fight with like 3 of motherfuckers. One after another. To the homeboy Bubba was like, "Hey, that's it, bro."
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's overkill. Like we.
Yeah, like I was fucking with it. I was like, "God damn, these fucking one after another." And you can't say no. As long as it was like that, it was like that. So we was like, "Hey, no mas." And the homeboy had to step in, like, "Hey, Nick was mine, bro. What's up?" So
Yeah.
it was like, but we're a lot of one-on-ones, which was cool because then, honest truth, that was way better. Even when I was in always close, that's where it's at. If you got balls, come up in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at. It's not like you could do it in the open, but what does that show? That
And
you
that's
just making sure you're covering your tracks.
yeah. A few seconds and
Covering your
that's
ass.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, a few seconds, but go in the room where, hey, you want some more? No, no, come on, come here, come here. You could get in the best, and he's gonna keep beating your ass.
Yeah.
And that was, I kind of liked it. It was better than getting fucking stabbed, I guess. At that time, I was like, fuck that shit. And from there, they started sending us to Kennedy,
A drug cottage.
Kennedy College, yeah. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I was the first one to go over there with the first wave of homies that went there, because a lot of things blur. But whatever it is, I end up getting there. You know, I ended up going to Kennedy College with the
Yeah.
homeboys, and yeah, it was fucking same thing. Blind spots. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
mostly in the school area. When there was a chance, always in the school area. You know, there was times we're fighting motherfuckers that were from the same college in the school area.
Oh, that's a trip.
Yeah, because it was all good in the school area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I want to say I probably lasted the whole GP in Fred C Nelles, probably a good in the mainline 3 months, bro.
3 months.
Yeah, because we had a thing, man. In the beginning when we got there, it was not to program.
Mhm.
We were to ride into the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Meaning we're gonna do whatever we need to take to do to get off this fucking send us back home.
Yeah.
And that was a vote, an even vote, you know, at that time.
Yeah.
And so that's what my mindset was, to get off, you know, get off. You know, but these fucking cops, man, they didn't give a shit. These, you know, seriously, these they had it set. We're gonna make you guys program it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there until this till an incident. Uh, they dropped some. They wanted to drop some reglas down to us,
Mm.
set of rules,
Yeah.
and that was like, you couldn't use this, you couldn't use that. It's all kinds. It was 13 rules, so imagine.
Yeah.
So I don't really recall them because they were never read to me or never told to me, but they did exist, and we just like grouped up, voted on it. Let's do it, you know.
Yeah.
We, we have to answer, you know. And there was an incident that we waited until I think the count time wasn't a count time at 12 o'clock, and they all the cops locked themselves
Oh
in
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
car.
Like right before chow or before the school, or was it after chow and before the school? I forgot, but yeah, I remember that there was a middle
But
one.
there was a one at night one, the
Yeah.
night one or shifted, and they locked themselves in. So we waited until like 12, and we just got off. We got off, and you know, we rat pack. It was a rat pack. We caught them off guard, you know,
Mhm.
sort of off guard thing, you know. And you know, when you get they expected us to abide by rules, and you know, we just had to do what we had to do, man. You know,
Yeah, fighting
and
for survival and shit.
yeah, no, seriously. I mean, like, man, dude, these cops didn't give a shit, man. These cops, and it wasn't feed, man, either to try to roll it. Oh, we can't do it here. You know, you have to. You know,
Yeah.
every chance you get, you had to stay there. You know, so that happened, and they ended up giving me the TAP lockdown program. I ended up staying
Damn.
behind. I think they tried to do a DA referral on it because we rat packed, I think, two of them. It was just only a couple of us that had a couple things rat pack, but we did have. It's not like we had a supply of fucking.
Weaponry and armory and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I mean, you talking about rocks? We had to pick up little boulders. We had to pick up, and make it into fucking the good, you know, to do something, you know, because ain't nobody was trying to give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that happened, and it was just like three of us. We did that, and there was more. There was like 10 of us, but out of 10, 3 of us, you know, did that, and they gave us the TAF lockdown. It was mostly just the homeboys,
Damn.
the homies, and shit from Fred. Yeah, and I ended up going to that started my little lockdown, the Taft, the other side, the real Taft lockdown.
How
You
was it
know,
over there?
how was it over there? Well, everybody's on site, you know. But
Yeah.
when I first got there, the window, I don't know how it was at the end, but the window was really
I'm here,
small.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really thin, really narrow, like this. And they wanted us to get more air or something. I don't know. They felt sorry for us or something, so they made it bigger, right?
Yeah.
And when they did that, well, it was that they didn't weld the fucking pieces on good. And that's when Hobo started getting big old bone crushers, you know,
Damn.
off those
Yeah.
windows. And when that happened, yeah, everything was on site. You know, everything was on site. Everybody was weaponry. Everybody was strapped, bro. You know, and behind those things, everybody strapped. But in the beginning, it was funny because there was times the cops would open the door. Hey, we need a toilet paper. Boom, open the door, and they're escorting somebody. Like what? You
Yeah.
know, we were like all they had was their foot on the door. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? We'll push them out the way. Boom. We just rushing on site. I mean, it was on site. Cause I was like, hey, any chance we got, we need to rush because they're gonna rush us the same. So we were just rushing, you know. And cops didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like why did you do that? Because we're fucking, because it's on site. You know, it's like you don't. You have to. You can't be slipping like that. You know, sometimes they'll leave the. Oh wait, hold on, and open the door, and they're escorting someone down.
Yeah.
Like what? Boom, boom. We're just one on one. It was just a lot of. If there's sometimes we're coming down. I remember we caught this white guy because he was on. They were on site too. So caught this white guy and he tried. He was a. They had him as a cleaner. He was clean.
Mm.
He was the whatever. He was a maintenance guy or whatever. But he was one of us. And he opened the door from the shower. He closed the door. We seen it. We're like, what? Open that door and start hitting him with the fucking with the broom and shit or whatever not, and beating the shit out of him. Yeah, no, it was the cop didn't know what the hell to do with us, you know. And then they started like, okay, now they started not doing that, opening one door at a time and getting all fucking rough with us, you know. Thinking about how getting in there. Where it really got worse is when this white guy, I think his name was, I want to say Snoop from Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
He took the keys away from the cops.
Oh shit.
And yeah, it was a Mexican guy with glasses. Little, I thought he was always a Sureño. You know, we always call him, hey, he's a Sureño. Man. Yeah, he has to be a Sureño because he was like, what's up, let's say, you know?
Yeah.
And he ended up, he took the keys away from him. And I hit him twice, but you know how they had
The
those,
best thing.
the vesting on? Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't do, but he hit him twice, took away the key and tried to open up doors. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I was like couple rooms cells down when that happened. I was like, I didn't have shit. I was like, what? Had that mattress right there, just okay. I was like, you know, it was good beyond. But
I wonder how many times they tried that because that did eventually end up happening, like years
no,
down the line.
no, that with you or with me?
No,
With you?
in Nellis, that ended up happening where they took the keys from the staff and
No,
ended up.
they do take the key. Yeah, he did take the keys, and,
Yeah.
and after that, that's when they got militant on us. They just fucking cross your leg, they cough, squat and cough, cross to get naked, shake your shit, uh, squat and cough, and there had to be two cops there, two to three officers there,
Yeah.
COs or counselors there, and then buckle your get your cross your legs and get your hands and everything. They had everything. And they was like, but then they got really fucking strict, man. Really,
Everybody in shackles at that point are chained up.
everybody in shackles. Yeah, anytime you did a movement, you had to do it in shackles. Uh, they try to, yeah, everything. I mean, it really got bad, man, and these fucking cops are doing us dirty. You know, I
Damn.
did 13 months there. You know,
Damn.
yeah, I ended up from 93 to 95. So, yeah,
Damn.
fucking up. Yeah, hooking up and yeah, like I said in the beginning, when I that first time, that's why I said that first time when I went there, it was all good, you know. But then uh, after that, you know, when I did that incident in Kennedy, after that, I didn't go back until '94 of September, and I was like an animal, you know. You know,
Because Taft is something else, like a whole nother world. You got motherfuckers flooding. You got fools like putting you on restriction, on sleep restriction. You got fools just trying to like whatever edge they can get over somebody.
no, it was that and the violence, man, the
Yeah.
violence because look at I'm gonna show you one. There's one incident that me and the homeboy out, this homeboy LT, we went to get a haircut, and there was a blood from Denver Lanes. We're all green. Everybody had a green light on. Everybody on site. You know, so we went and uh, and we went. We got our haircut, and the homeboy was like, "Hey, you got a pencil?" I was like, "Ah, damn, where'd you get that pencil?" Here, I was like, "Let me get it. You get the pencil, then fuck it." we're gonna do it when we get to Taft, when the van road stops, and we're gonna get off. We're gonna do it right there. Like, or he was just like, he was just like saying we weren't talking. He was like, all right, okay, and he go, all right. So we got there because he didn't want to get maced and be maced up all the way to Taft,
Yeah.
So we wanted to be right there from the barber shop or whatever. They took us to get a haircut. So we're like, all right. We got there. Once we stopped and got off, I got up, tried to stick him, hit him like twice. It didn't go through, but he fucking yelled. And my homeboy, so that fool, yeah, like, oh yeah, got his ass, right? Boom, they took us out, maced us, boom, dragged us to the thing. The blood was like pissed. Oh, that fucking dude. He was, what's up? What happened? They were like, what happened? What happened? He fucking bit me. I'm like, whoa, I
Ah,
didn't bite you, man. My homeboy bit him in the back of his neck. He went off on that. We didn't have nothing on. So I
yeah.
had the pencil. He was on it too. So he was like, dog, I just bit that motherfucker. He goes, fuck it. This motherfucker bit him. Yeah, I was like, you crazy fucker. But it was like that. Either you were gonna get headbutted, elbowed, bit, or try even spit on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. Everything counted. So yeah, that was that time, and that was just one example of how it was there. It was vicious. I was like,
Yeah.
that dude. I mean, you gonna go get tested rabies to make sure he didn't have nothing. The homeboy bit him hard.
Yeah, that's
True story.
fuck. It's that's
And I
fucked up, but I can imagine. Yeah, that's fucked up. Like people.
I was all, yeah, I got him. Yeah, he yelled. It wasn't me. It was that motherfucker. I know Dream was trying to stick me, but no, that fucking, that dude, I'll tell you, fucking crazy motherfucker bit me. I think he drew blood on him. Yeah,
Damn.
he was crazy little fucker. And then I was like, there was one incident. And then they tried that one. They was telling us, oh, they're gonna implement this one blood, one crib, one Sureño, one Norteño, one Bulldog, one white, one of each gang, and get us programmed out there in shackles.
Yeah.
They had like a leather vest, a leather waistband thing, and
Yeah.
then with the handcuff. I was like, yeah, they wait until they got the special bouts or whatever, and then they started us. And the first day, well, I already kind of read out some cops that were like, they used to flake. They used to not do it all the way through. So if I would play this. I would go lay down my bed, act like I was asleep, and if they come, see what they would do because they caught me asleep, right?
Hmm.
So I would play that little thing. So there's one cop. When he would see me like that, he wouldn't search me. So I was like, all right, I was good, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I caught a little weakness, a little loophole. So and this one time, so we kind of knew around what days we were gonna start this program, and then what I would do once I see somebody coming down for anything, I'll go lay down. I'll lay there until he left. The keys. You could hear the keys going back.
Yeah.
All right. And this one time they got me out. Boom. I was like, shit. He goes, you want to go? And he was, hey, Avalos, Avalos. I'll clean the road. Oh, what's up? He goes,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you want to go to the program? You want to go out? Huh? You want to go out? Yes or no? Like, yeah. So I already had my thing, my little piece. Boom. And the handcuff. He goes, you want me? Go, no, no, no. Just put your stuff. Let's go. All right. Boom. And just he buckled me up, and I left. And next thing you know, they pulled out the Southerner, Travieso, and they used to call him Travieso. So, and yeah, okay, there goes that little program. We
Hmm.
just uh. So when he came out, I was already set, and I told him, "Hey, homie, where you from?" He goes, whatever, two, tres, and, fuck it, you know. I said, "BullDog, homie, what's up?" And I just gotta get him a lick in the arm. I don't know how bad. It was blood everywhere, but
Yeah.
not too much. But yeah, that was one incident. They chopped that up. They go, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? They went back to they didn't know how they thought I keistered it, but I never keister shit.
Yeah.
I didn't never do, but I never believed in that. But they were like, how'd you get it? Like I can't say, you know.
Did
But
they
yeah,
give
that
you
was
a DA referral for that?
Yeah, they gave me a DA referral, but since he didn't make a statement, this where always ended up. If no statement, no case, bro.
Mm.
And I could tell you that those two incidents I did get into, no statement, no case. You know, and that was, I guess that was the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
People didn't like it. And it was vice versa. When they'll give it to us just the same.
Yeah.
And back then, I'm gonna tell you, I was enraged, bro. I was already behind that fucking wall a good fucking 10 months, bro, in the single cell,
Yeah.
talking to myself.
Damn.
The only thing we had at that time was a radio when they fucking felt like it, oldies, you know, or that station that LA one, I forgot what it calls, but the good old they used to have R&B music, that was the best thing. That was the only thing. That was the it,
Yeah.
and we get fed on time, you know. But besides that, it was like fuck that, it was honest truth. I felt like at one time I felt abandoned, fucking like,
Yeah.
does anybody come here, type of shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because how old were you at that point?
That point, this was 94. Uh, probably, I was six, that was what? Hey, 92, I was 14, 93, 15, 90, no, 93, 94, 15, 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, yeah.
Damn. So you're relatively young, and you are like, damn, everybody abandoned. You felt like everybody gave up on you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you felt, bro. That's how you felt, I was angry. I was mad at with my parent, my mom, sister. I would write my sister every 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. I think I even attempted to tell her. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know. She probably says, "Fuck." Who would have thought? They had me like that. They had me like that. They had.
Yeah.
There was times people act up like the Sudanos or whatever, and because nobody wants to cough it up who said it, so everybody get their shit
Yeah.
together. Um,
That shit
we're we're
sucks too.
we're in Boston. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks because the window's open. I'm fucking, yeah, it sucks. It's like fuck. I think one time they put us on freeze out there with sandwich. I think after that cop incident, they did because it was some sandwich, some cheese sandwich, I don't know if they had that when you were there,
No,
but
I think they stopped
when
because they said that it was making people constipated and all kinds like it was doing all kinds of shit. Like they were doing some scandalous shit that but they have real grievances on that
they
shit.
made people,
Yeah.
oh, that made people fucking, yeah. You wouldn't want it. You don't want to see it. You wouldn't share. You pushing nothing out. You're like nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, yeah.
It'll break you. It'll break you. Like you didn't believe it. Like 3 times a day. Like one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it specifically it was 4 pieces of white bread, 2 pieces of yellow cheese, and a carton of milk.
Damn.
3 times a day. And
Damn.
that's it. No mas. Like, so yeah, I was there for like 11 months or so in September '94, and I ended up convincing this the one that was in charge. It was a negro. It was in
Mm.
charge. I was like, man, I got a group home. I got a group home. I got a court order drug program. You know, I had what 6 months to go. In '95, I was supposed to parole in February '95. I was maxed out.
Yeah.
I told him, man, I gotta go before the drug. I had to do that drug program, woody whoop, and he was like, man, he was, you serious, man? You're not gonna fuck up? I'm like, man, where am I gonna fuck? I convinced this guy,
Yeah.
you know, and he fucking going talking to I don't know who he talked to, and he came back and like, man, just don't let me down. I'm like, what? So I had
Yeah.
a piece of it. During that process already, during that time, there was already another incident before that. The homeboys they put it down on this homeboy that was from Fresno that he didn't want it to the north to go,
Yeah.
and it was already a break already, In other words, there was already a break, and due to our part was because we were not gonna break there. We were gonna wait until we got up north to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was they put us on. They threw us under the bus. They told the gang coordinator, "Hey man, they're not even they're not Norteños." Hey, what do you mean? Yeah, the guys from Fresno ain't even Norteños because once a homeboy would get there, what they would do, get off on the Sudaño or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and go to the hole, right? Do whatever they need to do, and they'll go to the hole, right? And and the thing was, they when they retaliate on the Norteños, you know.
Yeah.
And what they didn't want at that time, they didn't want. They told the gang coordinator, "Hey, bro, you know that's they're bulldogs. You know, like, what do you mean? They're not northern. No, they're different. You know, they threw us. We felt that they threw us under the bus, and so we said, "Fuck it, let's roll." You know,
Yeah.
it was a break. So when that happened, we all had to let the norte go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whoever was gonna ride, and there was one homeboy. I don't want to say his name, but because he ended up becoming cool, you know. He's a homeboy now, and
Yeah.
but they give him the works, you know. They give him the works right there in the showers. They did
Damn.
they on the air flight, you know.
Yeah.
And but then he let it go. But you know, I guess we were like he wanted to stay north. We had to treat him like one sort of thing, you know. So that happened, and so when they let me go, when I commenced that college, let me go to Madison to
Mm-hmm.
the mainland.
Yeah.
It was wartime already, so you know to me I didn't feel like I was catching nobody off guard. I felt everybody should know what time was it, you know.
Yeah.
It was popping, but it was a trip because my anger went from southern to northern. You know, they are like our fucking attention went straight the opposite, you know.
Damn.
And yeah, I guess just to put the stamp on it, you know. And so yeah, I ended up going to Madison for one day, man. And it's all because I told this guy was getting out of mouthy with my homeboy Bubba. He was getting mouthy over the on the door, and my homeboy Bubba was one of those guys that he's really quiet, keeps to himself, you know. And he was
Yeah.
like, so I put it on, you know, the I put it on something, and I had 6 months to go before to go home, you know,
Yeah.
and my
And you're
homeboy
maxed out.
to max out, yeah, and I was over here trying to get a hit on, you know, and
Yeah.
honest truth, I didn't think I was gonna get a K. I didn't think I was gonna get a DA referral. You know, I
Yeah.
guess you know.
Because you had two other
Yeah,
incidents with.
yeah, there was not even that, man. I seen motherfuckers in like in other places, even during that time, like either hit us or we hit them, and they won't get no cases, bro. It's like, all right, behave, don't fuck around. You ain't going nowhere. They like what, you know?
Yeah.
So it was sort of like that. So like no, and I went out there and I had a homeboy right there, homeboy Spooks from Fresno. So I had to bring him along. I told him, hey, munch in the hole, you know. So, you know, and yeah, that we planned it out, and within the next day, we got off. You know, we did the 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 little thing, and we had like I had like three, and then I had a rat pack, so I brought the rat pack, and they got me for an attempted murder and 3 assault with a deadly weapon or whatnot, you know. And
Yeah.
you know, all this I could say now in hindsight, it was all due to anger, bro, and they didn't know where to throw that. Man, who would put you on the mainland after you stab them up here in shackles, you know?
Yeah.
After you did something in in one college and you got enemies right off the bat, like Southerners, you know what I'm saying? Why would they throw you out there? You know, so I was just like, fuck it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. If you think about it too, it's like they're not even giving you treatment really. It's just
No,
like I don't think they understand where that there was real anger, there was real rage inside of us as kids, right? So
yeah, yeah,
what they do is they're like, "You calm now? You cool?" Like
yeah, you cool?
motherfucker, like it's deeper than that. You know what I mean?
No, no, for real, yeah, and yeah, they end up sending me there, and they end up, and what happened, and I end up getting. That's why I caught a case and end up getting sent to prison. But Yeah, but before that maxed out, the day before, they ended up detaining me in Downey Juvenile Hall in
Oh, that
LA.
fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, yeah. So, so
Damn. So
I thought I was almost ready to go, and they fucking did a quick one, and
damn.
I ended up they ended up detaining me right there in Downey Juvenile Hall. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go to LP. How was it going to LP? As because there's like hardly any like hardly ever are there bulldogs or northerners in
No, no.
LP. So how was it
Well,
going over there?
well, it was pretty. I mean, honestly, like when I say pretty cool because I guess I survived it, right?
Yeah.
It's all right. I always looked at. I never look at when I'm in this situation. I never look at like it's fucked up, right? I look
Yeah.
at it like how the fuck am I gonna survive this?
Yeah.
So when it's true, when they hit me up, I tell them, and they motherfuckers. I would say Fresno. I'll say, hey, where you from? Homie? Fresno, homie. Like, oh, okay, Florencia, Fresno, or 18th Street. They didn't give a fuck. I was like, what? No, here and there. Now, when I went to East, I did get in a fight there a couple of times right there in Downey. But
Hmm.
when they transferred me, I got tried as an adult. I had to go to fitness hearing,
Yeah.
and they ended up keeping me in. They ended up they tried me as an adult. I lost the fitness hearing, so I ended up going to East Lake, and then that's when I started fighting a little bit more. But everything was 1-on-1.
Yeah.
The only time they tried to jump me was some some mess guys. There were like 3 or 4, and they tried, and the cops beat the shit out of them. I was like,
Damn.
damn, hands on these fools. I was like,
Yeah.
damn. And
Cops in
the
the
cops
halls are
didn't like
fucking.
me.
The motherfuckers are
Oh, they put.
abusive, dog.
Oh yeah, there was a guy, right? Big old looking like a frog and shit. Big old frog I know from Watts. So he used to like me. He used to be cool with me and shit because he used to always bring me food and everything. Because I guess I kept it to myself. I never did much, and yeah, that fool put hands, bro. And the other there was 3 of them kicking the shit out of him all the way down. Like, damn, he
Damn.
did a better job than me. So I never, there it was all good. I was told there was some trainers there, like Clumsy from Florencia, some other guy from Avenues. Forgot his name. Yeah, everything's pretty good, man. I tell them, man, I'm not a no trainer, homie. So, but whatever you want to get down, let's get down.
Yeah.
And no, one time we went to court, me and that dude Clumsy, and I remember this Sureño right there in the bus. He wrote, "Hey, homie, where you from, mister?" He told the Clumsy, Florencia, whatever, Maldito, whatever he said. And
Mm.
then and he asked me, "Hey, where you from?" I said, "Fresno, homie." He goes, "What?" He turned around. He goes, "Hey, man, we got disrespectful. We got whatever." And he goes, "What?" Everybody was rowdy. I was like, "Oh shit!" Right? He goes, "Man, when you get on this motherfucker out, like, damn, fool." Right? And this dude was like, he was okay, homie, okay. And then when that happened and then I said, "Man, I ain't no thing. I'm a bulldog, homie." He goes, "What? Would you say?" He was bulldog. I said, "Oh," and he told everybody, "Hey, he's a bulldog," and everybody just be quiet. It was quiet. I was like, "What the fuck was that about?" Right?
Yeah.
And no, after that, it was gravy in the halls. After that, it was just like cool. He told everybody. He told me everybody. He goes, "Nah, homie, this guy's cool. Don't trip." And it was on from there. It was just cool after that.
How long did you fight your case for?
From 95 to like and 90 like a year, a little
Damn.
around no less than a
I was
year
gonna say
because
that's a long time for like a wide stabbing. Like these fools are
no, like I didn't fight it. I was trying to fight it. I was making it look like a big old incident, the chaotic incident.
Mhm.
And at the end, they ended up giving me 1 year, 4 years. So with the one strike and prison term. You know.
Damn.
So yeah, but yeah, that's what I got. Further, I was looking at like 20 some years and all kinds of crazy shit. I was like, hell no. I was like, fuck that. I was almost taking it. I was almost taking like a 16-year 16
Oh,
years.
fuck that.
And my public defender's like, no, we could beat this because these guys that make us, they all made a statement,
Mm.
but they try to go get them to. I guess the defense, the DA tried to have them go come to testify, and they didn't want to make statements, you know. And but they all made statements, but when it came down to it, they couldn't. They didn't want to make statements after that,
Yeah.
on court. They didn't want to go to court and testify against me. So they end up. That's what the deal. My public defender was like, "Hey man, we could beat this." I was like, "Ah, fuck, I'm gonna get it. I want to go home already,"
Yeah.
because there was a lot of racial incidents there, and it was really racial riots in LA County Jail. So
Oh, so you got transferred to the county?
no, I never went to the county. No,
Okay,
I never.
okay.
But a lot of incidents that were happening there, they were starting to evolve over here in the juvenile hall, and
Yeah.
so much, I didn't want to catch it on the case. I was like, fuck. And I was really, and then the Sudaners were already like being cool with me. So I was like, man, thinking, all right, let's go fucking, let's go assault some motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
Get with the program. And they even caught me with a bunch of pieces because I, in the drawers in the school area, the school
Yeah.
classes, took all the pieces out from the middle of the thing, big old pieces, and they caught me. And they almost sent me, yeah. And I was like, let's kick this shit off then, right? And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing, bro? They ended up sending me to the hole, to lockdown, and they were threatening me. They wanted to send me to the county jail.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And they told me, next time you do this, you're gonna go any fucking incident, we're gonna send you to county jail. And I was like, what? Okay. And then nothing happened, and I ended up getting that plea deal and going to prison. Yeah, going to
How,
prison.
how did you feel when you entered an adult system and you left behind the juvenile system? Because you're probably like I would assume you never seen the juvenile system again.
Yeah, no, never. When I left, when they came and picked me up, and I went, well, fuck, well, it was kind of scary, because I was getting sent somewhere I didn't know shit about,
And you're leaving from Central to the joint?
It's Central.
Damn, that's a trip.
Honestly. And they picked me up, and yeah, I was like, fuck it, like everything else has just been on the flip, My whole thing has always been just like the first day I stepped in juvenile hall. It's like you only are who you are, You
Yeah.
only you got this far. Don't fucking lock it up now, So kind of had a feeling what was gonna happen when I got there, but everything I guess is when I got there, everything was cool with Sureño. So everything I ended up going. They ended up slamming me down to ASIC to investigate what that where that incident happened.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And right, I showed up. I went to Delano Reception Center. That was Southern Reception Center at that time. That was in Northern. That was Southern Reception Center in '96. So
Mm.
they ended up slamming me down, and there was some what
So
you
they
want to call big homies that
mm.
they gave me the walk the yards, and it was all good. Yep.
And so the cops, what they try to do is they try to get you like validated so you won't come out like and determine it's you
Yeah, they wanted to get me
for
indeterminate
something you
too
did in
because
YA.
why? Because they thought it was stabbing. I was in a pod, and next you know they pulled me out. And it's probably the best thing that could have happened because I don't fucking know what could have happened there. Because
Yeah.
I was a bunch with southerners.
Mm.
So or dark southerners at that. So they pulled me out right away. They pulled me out either because it said BullDog or whatever, but they pulled me out and they sent me to a committee, into a committee hearing a couple
Mm.
of days later, and yeah, and no, but what played out right there is that some guys they told me, "Hey, nothing's gonna happen to you, bud. You could walk these yards right here." So when I hit the GP, reception center GP, and it was all gravy after that. And
Yeah.
so just to hit the yard, man, because if not, I probably would have got or I don't know what would have happened because YA mentality. Either way, if I would have
Yeah.
seen something, I would have just took flight. But never knowing, I didn't have homeboys there or nothing. So, no homies.
So how did you end up beating that that validation attempt by the cops.
No, no, it was never because they just seen that it happened in YA.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they
it
dropped
didn't
it.
happen.
Yeah,
They
that's kind of petty of them too to even bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah. It is. It is. It was. I didn't understand at that time. People when I showed up, they wanted me to. I had to show my paperwork, and I showed them that. They're like, oh, okay, all right. Don't worry, you're gonna go to GP, and you're gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry, and whatever, whatever, and that's it. Okay. And
Yeah, how long
did
did you?
like
My bad. Go
three
ahead.
months, like 90 days there, or 90 days.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, how long did you do in the your first that time in the joint?
I maxed out, but yeah, I ended up then sending me to Centinela, down south. Imperial, California, and level 3 yard, and yeah, and I ended up catching a shoe term there, and then they sending me the. I was in Corcoran for a month layover, and then Pelican Bay. Hmm.
Damn.
Yeah,
And that's where you
so
got. That's where you got out of.
yeah, I paroled in '98, Pelican Bay.
So you
Hmm.
go from a group home to Pelican Bay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, damn, man. Like that's
I
fucked
mean,
up, man. Like, that's a fucked up journey for a kid. Like,
yeah, no, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Now as an adult, I can say I have to you know, I take responsibility.
yeah,
But, fuck, man. I mean, there wasn't too many cards, handed to me. My
mm,
dealt to me, so it was all survival mode from day one day day 10th. It was like, fuck, I had to do what I had to do. But at
yeah,
the same time, a lot of shit shouldn't have went the way it did. When it came to juvenile system. You know, like
yeah,
the conversation we had the other day, and I told you, man, bro, I was never a victim. And I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I am a victim of the system. We're a victim of the fucked up system that CYA system.
yeah,
You know, yeah, I know, and I could say that, and it was just a fucking failure setup. It was just a big old setup. Big old. You weren't gonna succeed. To get out early on time, nope, no, you weren't. You were gonna catch some time. They were handing them out like 3 months, 6 months, and how much more time you got? Fuck it, all the
just give
way,
it all.
dog.
Yeah, fuck, man, that's fucked up.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
hey,
I
you
didn't
see
even
that
know
shit?
I had 3 years and 6 months. I was like, what? I ain't never gonna make. I'm like 8 months, eight
Yeah,
or 9 months, and then maxed out. Caught another case, you know, and yeah, and the reason I'm here, man, it's not to glorify everything that I did. It happened. It happened, and it was never like, oh, because I was bigger and better than this guy and this. Nah, man, it was the way it was, and if I, it could have, it was never always us. It was we were getting handled too. We are getting our asses handed to us too. And but I look at it, it should have never went down that way, bro. They
yeah,
should have never sent me to Fred C Nelles. They should have never sent nobody to put that person in that situation, to get,
yeah. You shouldn't have went to
or
YA
even
in the first
or even
place.
13 months. Yeah, that's what I said. Even a 13-month program in fucking lockdown, man. They just had us in there, just had us just to have us there. They didn't even know why they even had us there. You know, they're like, just send me out, ship me out. The first thing I was yelling for is ship me out, bro.
I always say that
Get me out.
they treat us like commodities. They ship and secure us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Ship and
yeah.
secure
I mean,
you.
look at the many things, and that was just in me. That was just one person. Now, I'm talking about for me. I had two or three other homeboys that were catching cases too, and it was hard for them. They left when they caught cases,
Yeah.
and all of us, majority of us left when we caught cases, you know, and
Damn.
it was pretty rough, man, and yeah, that's the way it was, man.
So let me ask: when you got out of prison, how old were you?
I was 19. I think
Yeah,
19.
young. You're still fucking young, and that's crazy. So you're
Yeah.
19 years old, and you get out of prison. You're back in society. How do you feel like stepping back there and just like with all the violence and shit that you've been through?
That's a good question. How did I feel? I felt weird. I felt out of place, man. I felt out of place. There was times I wanted to go back. You know, my whole thought process. If I would have got from out from YA to the streets, I would have went right back. You know, but I ended up running into some good homeboys in Pelican Bay, and they told me, man, get a family. This ain't the life for us, bro. This ain't the cause. This ain't the reason we do what we do. You know, just to get out and stay out. Get a family, bro. Life is out there, and I took one advice and make a family. So I made a family. Started with that, and just the same dedication I had with the cause of the homies. The same dedication I have now with my family. You know, and that's
Oh
what's
yeah,
uh,
that's what
you
it's
know
all
the whole
about.
yeah, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. All this trying to glorify and trying to push propaganda or feed these kids negative, feed them good positivity stuff, man. You know, feed them how to stay out here. How give them the tools. You
Well,
know. Even when I was would help me out too when I was at Centinela because I was about to get out like 26 days home to the house before I got that shoe term.
damn.
I went to a pre-release program
Yeah.
and and I did a pre-release program. And I kind of sucked all that shit up, like networking and talking and don't sell yourself and this and that, and that really helped me. And so when I got out, I kind of put that to use, selling myself to
Dope.
employers. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a trip when I was in Nellis, because when you go to Nellis to get out, you have to go to if you don't max out, you have to go to board and where
Uh-huh.
they parole you. And a staff member once told me if you could convince three people to let you out of jail, you convince one person to give you a job.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. I've heard you say that too. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and it is true, man. It's like we have a mouthpiece, man. The us white babies, we have a mouthpiece, man,
Like you said, you got
and
yourself
it's
out of
good.
Taft.
Yo, yeah, yeah. I convinced this guy, and yeah, 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 but that's why I've been listening to you, and I'm like, yeah, I like that, man. You got that white mentality still, but in a positive way.
Yeah,
You're
hell
putting
yeah.
that all in a positive way, and I support that. You know, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be on this one, but for a while, but I just kind of debated in my head, you know.
I
And
am.
but I talked to the homeboy, Mono, right there on your,
Mm,
and he gave me a kind of a kick. So just this
hell
for
yeah.
him, you know, this for Mono. Um, out from what body he's from, but you know, this is for you, bro. And
All right, much love to Lomi Mono. And let me ask, when you're out, there's a few months, maybe even up to a year, where you're very vulnerable. And I don't mean like somebody's gonna prey on you. I mean where you could go back, right? Like you're not ready
oh yeah,
for society. What was it like? What kind of a
oh
support network
no,
did you have that kept you like strong? Where you were like,
no. Well, honest truth, when I got out, man, I, I I ran amok for a bit. You know,
"Mm,
I was smart enough to get off parole, smart enough to do smart shit, to do the moves I was gonna make moves, do it legit. You know, do it smart, not legit, but smart,
yeah,
not get caught. I was keeping to myself. I paroled to an area that was not supposed to be paroled to, so so that kept me to myself, and but it didn't stop me from doing what you would have thought after all that time, like to stay out of, you know.
yeah,
I wanted to where I left off. I picked up, bro. You know,
damn,
weird. As a 13-year-old kid, so I wanted all those adventures, like checking the cars, fucking selling drugs, and be with girls. Or I did all that, you know.
yeah, because you
And
missed it as a kid.
yeah, I missed that as a kid. I missed high school. I know I can't go back to high school, but I did all the rest. The shooting it up and stupid shit. and then so I just matured out of it, until I went on a high speed chase, and I was strapped up with drugs and everything. I didn't get caught with that, but got caught. I ended up turning myself in, and down the line, and a day later, and did some year in county jail, and after that, I said I need to move environment, move
Yeah.
out of. If I go into the same place, I'm gonna do the same shit. So
Yeah.
moved out, and then from then I've been out. Since
Oh yeah.
2004, and I've been living a better life, and just finding myself.
Oh yeah.
It's a work in progress, bro. It's not. It's not. It wasn't overnight. It ain't gonna be done. It ain't done yet. And I'm still working on myself right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, because a lot of people don't know when you live when you change your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you live what people would say like a regular life. It could be a little difficult at times for people, for people like us. And it's a
Oh yeah.
battle. It's a constant battle, but you just have to
Oh
like
yeah.
have that mental where it's like I'm stronger than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You always like I said one time to Mono. I told man I go back. Like he even said I go and I do that to myself. I go back to where I hit the bottom. Bottom for me was Taft, bro. Not
Mhm.
Pelican Bay, none of that. Pelican Bay was Disneyland, bro. Uh, Taft, like in my childhood, bro.
Yeah.
They stripped that shit from me, bro. And that's where I go back to that. Bro. And I'm not there, so I'm better. But I'm not there, I'm better. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, so yeah, it's a struggle, bro. It's a struggle, and for all you guys that are out there, man, all the white babies, that it ain't. This is real, This is real. This was real. It may not have been Taft. It could have been Eno. It could have been Tamarack. It could have been some other lockdown. But it happened, bro. It happened to you too.
Yeah.
And once you guys be to support this homie right here, it's pretty
I
cool.
appreciate that, G.
Positive, bro. Talking positive stuff, and he's not all this gang shit stuff. Just keeping it real life. Man life right here.
Appreciate
And
that, G, for
thank you,
real.
and I appreciate this opportunity.
Much
Yep.
much love, much love. Before we ended, is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, just keep doing what you've been doing. You may not have all those views and likes and whatever, but hey, bro, it's you're genuine. It's real.
I
And
appreciate that. Yeah.
thank you for that, bro.
Man,
Thank you.
much
You
love. I
know.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's never about like I appreciate the views. I appreciate the subscribers. Like I really do. Like I do. But it's if it's always about the message. You know what I mean? That's the main thing.
Yeah.
We want to put out the positive
Yep.
message, and we want to make show people like, look what homie did with himself. You know what I mean? Like he started in group homes, went all the way to Pelican Bay, right? But he's out
Yep.
now. He's been out since 2004. Like
Yep.
it's not a fluke. Homie's changed. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, it's
Like
possible.
homie has changed, and anyone who was thinking about it, like fuck, could I change? I've been doing this my whole life. You could
Oh
change.
yeah,
Like you could change.
change environment. Change your environment, bro.
Yes,
Environment.
sir. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you chopping it up with us, my boy. It's been a pleasure, and hope you mean keep in contact. You got my number, and with that,
All right. Thank
we out. Peace.
you. Thank you, bro. All right.
Thank you.